Sidney Powell fired from the Trump legal team.
Mr. Reagan.
Now, this was tough news to hear. This seems like a devastating blow for all of us who believe that election fraud did take place and that the election was stolen from Donald Trump. Now, is this as bad as we all think? Is this a devastating blow? Well, let's explore that a little bit here. Rudy Giuliani issued a press release last night, and he stated in that press release that Sidney Powell is no longer a part of the Trump legal team. Rudy Giuliani has disassociated Sidney Powell entirely from Donald Trump, from the administration, from the legal team, from everything. And like I said, this seems to be some pretty terrible news. I think it is terrible news. And it begs a major question. Is Sidney Powell a total fraud, or was she just mistaken about some things? Did she make some mistakes? This is tough. I don't think, see, logically, it doesn't make sense to me that you would completely disassociate from someone. You would essentially fire them, and that's what this was. This is a firing, no doubt about it. She was essentially fired from the Trump legal team publicly in front of everybody right after a major press conference in which all the major players, all the major legal minds in that legal team presented together, which to some degree indicates that they all back each other up, that they all support each other's points, the points that they're all making, right? One would think that they would have discussed this ahead of time. This is what I'm going to say publicly. Yeah, we're all on board. Okay, let's do this. You'd think that they'd all be kind of on the same page. And so even if somebody made a mistake, even a bad mistake, it would be better, in terms of optics, it would be better to go out and make a statement that says, listen, Sidney Powell made a mistake. This is the mistake, right? We have to step back from what she said here, and these are the angles that we're going to continue to approach, because there certainly was fraud. This is what we can prove. We've realized that this may not be the best direction to go, so we're going to step away from that, whatever it is, whatever the issue is. But to fire somebody so publicly, so boldly, that sounds to me like Sidney Powell is somehow toxic, right? Maybe she's utterly fraudulent, a total fraud. So I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to think. So I texted the only person I knew that definitely knew what was going on, Sebastian Gorka. And his message back to me utterly changed my entire perspective on this whole thing. That in one moment. First, I have to sell you something. If you want younger looking skin, more vibrant, more energy, and more youthful looking hair, there's a secret. That secret is Ageless Multi-Collagen. Thanks to Ageless Multi-Collagen, you can look and feel 10 years younger. Just one scoop a day, and I take mine with my coffee in my Mr. Reagan mug here every morning. I have some serious joint issues, so this stuff for me is critical. Collagen is vital for your skin, your hair, your joints, your tendons, your bones, your gut health. Most people don't know that their natural collagen levels deplete about 10% every decade. Supplementing with collagen is crucial for good physical and mental health, and there's no better collagen on the market than Ageless Multi-Collagen. If you don't believe in the benefits of collagen, please look it up. Do the research for yourself. We have the internet for a reason. And look, even though I get these BioTrust products for free, I've actually liked them so much that I've ordered some for my parents because the health benefits are just so valuable. And check this out, you'll also be feeding a hungry child. For every order of Ageless Multi-Collagen, BioTrust will donate a nutritious meal to a hungry child in your honor. So get yourself a bag of Ageless Multi-Collagen today while it's still 51% off. And as an added bonus, you'll get free shipping and a 60-day money-back guarantee. Go to healthwithreagan.com or click the link in the description below. That's healthwithreagan.com. Invest in your health by getting Ageless Multi-Collagen today. All right, so in the wake of this apparently devastating news that Sidney Powell is now off the Trump legal team, like I said, I texted Sebastian Gorka, and this is what he said back to me. He said back to me, she is not a fraud. She's real. She's legitimate. But his take was essentially that she was out of her lane, right? She had gotten out in front of her skis, you might say. So Sidney is not fraudulent. Sidney Powell is not fraudulent. She's She's a good lawyer. She knows what she's doing. So why then? Why would they get rid of her? Why would they fire her? I mean, it's such a horrible thing to do. It discredits all of them. I mean, it makes everybody think twice about listening to them. It undermines their credibility. Why would they do such a thing? Then it hit me. Now, I believe Sidney Powell, right? I believe that the Dominion voting machines and the Smartmatic software and all the players involved were scummy, were con artists, and the election had been defrauded. I still think this. I'm not sure all the details exactly, but part of the reason I so strongly believed it was because I believe Sidney Powell. And the reason I believed Sidney Powell is that what she was saying was extremely dangerous for her. You wouldn't say these things unless you had hard evidence to support them, because otherwise she's putting herself in a very precarious position. Not only her, but the team, the whole legal team who was supporting her, and for Donald Trump, who she was working for, the Trump administration. Everyone was at risk from what she was saying if she did not have solid evidence to back it up, right? So, in fact, I was going to do a whole video on this. I was going to do a whole video last night on why Sidney Powell must be telling the truth. And that video has turned into this video, right? Because of this breaking news. This is huge news. The video is going to be about what did the team have to gain by lying, right? So the position of the left is that Sidney Powell's lying, that Rudy Giuliani's lying. There's a whole video from MSNBC about how Rudy Giuliani is lying. They never actually accuse him of lying, but that's what the headline of it is. Mostly they just focus on the fact that when he was giving his press conference, he was sweating and you could see his hair dye. So it was mostly just a piece ridiculing him, which I think, is completely pointless. But in the headline, it says that, his press conference was full of lies. But it wasn't. I don't think Rudy Giuliani has said anything that was a lie. But the truth is, I'm not sure Sidney Powell has said anything that's a lie. I think maybe she's been mistaken or something. I'm not really sure. We'll get into that in a second. But the point of the other video was going to be that you don't make these kinds of massive accusations without evidence to support it because, well, two main reasons. The first thing is, those who trust you, you will lose all credibility among those who trust you, right? You don't want to lose credibility among those who could hire you in the future. I mean, this wasn't going to be Sidney Powell's last ever case. This isn't going to be Rudy Giuliani's last ever case. Obviously, these people want to work, within politics in the future. They want to work within the legal system in the future, and they don't want to lose all of their credibility by so publicly saying things that they know are false. So they wouldn't just outright lie about things that were so explosive. But then the second reason, and this is I think far more serious, is that if you say something that you know is false to the public, that is stuff that's this explosive, you open yourself up to litigation, right? You open yourself up to lawsuits. People can sue you for saying these things, right? It's called slander, right? If you slander people in this way, they can sue you. So this is what I'm thinking, right? I suspect, and I don't know if this for sure, but this will probably come out in the next few days. I suspect that Rudy Giuliani and the other lawyers found something that they were unsure about or suspicious about, or that spooked them a little bit, right? In what Sidney Powell was saying publicly. Now, this might have been a series of things. This might have been a massive thing, or this might have been a very little thing. But whatever it was, I mean, you cannot say something that is proved false and that you could be held liable for in court. This is a serious problem, right? If you say something that could potentially be ruled slanderous. And so I suspect perhaps that Rudy Giuliani, I think he's just protecting the legal team. I think he's trying to protect Trump, and I think he's trying to protect the administration. He's trying to protect their credibility, but he's also trying to protect them against litigation. So if this is true, if I'm right about this, and I have mentioned this to a few different people as speculation, they all seem to agree. These are very serious people, important people. So I'm getting a thumbs up from these guys. So I think I'm right about this, and we'll see in the coming days. I've been wrong about stuff before, but I think I'm right about this. I think there's something that Sidney Powell has said that has spooked the rest of the legal team, and they've said, we have to disassociate with her. So it's not that Sidney Powell is a fraud. It's not that Rudy Giuliani is trying to discredit her, even though that's the effect. See, this is the problem of firing her publicly like this. The effect is that it discredits her, and by association, it to some degree, in the minds of many people, will discredit you for having associated with her previously. But I don't think it's that bad, guys. I don't think this is as bad as it looks. I think this is some individual thing that they have to distance themselves from her for legal reasons. Yeah, so don't panic when you read this in all of your news feeds that Sidney Powell has been fired from the Trump legal team. It's not that bad. And there's a little bit of news that came up recently about her and Tucker Carlson having a bit of a spat. That wasn't that bad either. That was just, Tucker doing his thing and Sidney doing her thing. Don't cancel Tucker just yet. I've been reporting about the problems that I see with Fox, and there's some issues there, and they need to be looked at. But I still believe in Tucker. I think Tucker's fighting on the good side. He's trying to help the country, and I would not abandon him just yet. And I certainly wouldn't cancel Sidney Powell just yet, at least not until we know what exactly she got wrong and how significant that is. I think she did get something wrong. I don't know what it is. Let me know in the comments what you guys think it was that she got wrong. And let me know if you think I'm wrong about all this. But I do think that in this case, I think this is what's happened. And I do think that we're going to find out in the next few days for sure. Well, that's it for me. And remember, it's not that our liberal friends are ignorant. It's just they know so much that is not so. Good night.
If we lose freedom here, there's no place to escape to. This is the last stand on earth. This is the issue of this election. Whether we believe in our capacity for self-government or whether we abandon the American Revolution and confess that a little intellectual elite in a far distant capital can plan our lives for us better than we can plan them ourselves.